Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you step by step my thought process, how I do things to make thousands of dollars from this game, MaplestoryN. It's still relatively new, 3 months in. I have only been playing 1 month, but the strategies I've deployed have lowered my depreciation for almost very little because of the stuff that I strategically invest in. And I recommend to you guys as well on the channel. We always have videos of what is recommended, what is not recommended. I do things very differently from a lot of other players in the game because you must understand MaplestoryN is not about how much damage you do, how much is your biggest PP number, chasing the best equipment. It's about buying smart, and that's how you make the most money, thinking differently from other people who are just gamers. For me, I am a finance professional. I've been working in the investment industry for 6 years and I have a finance degree. So I'm always thinking about profiting, making money as well. So that it becomes every single decision that I make always has profitability in mind. So I don't go for the best gear. As you can see here, for those of you who have been playing a while, I am pretty much at a end game stat 11,000 plus, but I'm not buying expensive gear. I invest strategically because if you chase after, and this is the first tip I want you guys to know, of course, in this video, I won't be able to go in depth on my step-by-step thought process, how my brain works and how I think, how I make money into a nitty-gritty, because every market condition, everything is different. We will have a lot of content on the channel as well. This is just to show you the principles for you guys to become better investors in MapleStory. And if you guys are interested in more detail, I share all my specific market strategies in the pinned comment below. You guys can take a look. But let's get on with my first tip that I have. Invest strategically. You would see a lot of higher end players, for example, people that are maybe playing the meta classes like Corsair, Shadower, maybe they invest 20 grand, 30 grand on their characters, and they admit that they lose money in the game because their equipment got depreciated. They chase after the best gear. But don't forget, gaming and making money are two different things altogether. You need to focus on what gives you the best bang for your buck in terms of dollar-wise efficiency and stuff that have very low chance of depreciation. Even if it depreciates, it doesn't go down too much. And I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit of a glimpse of what I'm doing. Number one, if you look at this gear here, you will realize that almost everything is not best in slot. What do I mean by that? Apart from the stuff that are like the Neopight Rings, the Dominator Pendants, which are like these rings over here and this pendant, the rest of them are actually not too best in slot. Why am I running not best in slot items? One, if you don't buy the best item in the game, you might do less damage. You might not be able to solo clear everything, but the amount of money that you're spending is a fraction of the cost. Now, I will just show you my weapon over here. This one is an Unchained wand. This is a very entry wand, and I already made a lot of content on this way before for people who are supporting the channel as well, and I explain why Unchained is the meta for especially my class. A lot of people have since followed that method as well and believe that that is the most efficient tactic available and started moving into this. The prices of Unchained sadly has gone up a little bit, but this is very cheap to get it in Legendary Potential. You get 75% boss damage as well as all the additional stats that you get. It's just super efficient, very cheap to cube as well. And the thing is, the depreciation on this item has already been hit because I joined MaplestoryN 1 month later into the thing than other people. So I'm already looking for value. And then from that value, I just upgrade, get a legendary, and I use it as well. For me, those of you wondering, oh, can EOD actually clear? So far in the game, we cleared all the way until Damien already. Just this week, we managed to clear. It's a 4-man party, so it's not like a 1-man solo bishop clear kind of thing, but we are still doing a lot of damage. I also solo most weekly bosses like CRA, Sickness, whatever not, Chaos, Zakum, all your other stuff. All of these bosses all are solo. The week, of course, just reset. I'm waiting for a weekend where I have more time outside of my job as well so that I can do the other bosses as well. But this is just a glimpse of one of the characters that I have. I'll explain more in a bit. And buying stuff that already are depreciated, very great bang for your buck, even better. Now, the next thing, of course, is apart from Unchained and going for efficiency, don't just watch this video and just buy Unchained, because the thought process is very different when the prices change. When an item is 4 mil, it's very different when the item is 1 mil. So I share with you guys updated market thoughts as well. Again, pinned comment has a lot more content if you are wanting to know the thought process. I explain in depth from my financial background as well. Next up, of course, is second thing, other than Unchained, is picking the class. People are playing the DPS classes like Shadower, like Corsair to do the biggest damage possible. It is very nice to do a lot of damage, but one, you get subjected to nerf risks. What happens if your class gets nerfed? Immediately all your gear might drop in 20%, 30% in value. From a gamer's point of view, doing the most damage is the best, but for an investment perspective, having the amount of risk, you don't get rewarded enough for those amount of gains to get that nerf risk, because at the end of the day, the developers are the ones that hold the power. So you want to reduce your risk as much as you can to increase your chance of profitability as well. So how I do it is I play a class called Bishop, which is a very supportive class. Every single party needs it. And the thing is, you don't need massive amounts of stat. You don't need to do massive amounts of damage as well, because Bishop is technically more of a supportive class. Other people, if you are spending this amount of resources in the game, what do you want to do? You want to feel good. You want to do biggest damage, as much damage as you can. You want to like solo as many things as you can. So very few high-end players would invest 10k plus stats in a Bishop. So you will see very often that a lot of people are picking this class. At the same time, this one has a very, very long runway, because once 5th job is out, there's massive upside, because Bishop really becomes Bishop only after 5th job, where you have Benediction and a ton of party buffs. It becomes a must in every single bossing party, from the harder bosses like above 220 and beyond, because of the amount of damage it provides. So long-term investment, specific class that is very efficient, very cost-effective, always needed in a party. You can fight bosses together. I can solo easier bosses, but only the harder ones, like maybe Damien, which needs a lot more damage. I need to join a party. But to solo this, I probably need to spend like, I don't know, for a Bishop, like 30 grand, 40 grand. If you're buying like endgame equipment and just soloing the bosses, please keep that 30 grand in your bank. You can do it at a fraction of cost. This character costs a fraction of that cost as well. So I don't get depreciated buying items that are efficient. Now next, on the flip side, buying items that are efficient, playing a class that is efficient, the third thing that I want to talk about, and of course, if you're finding value in this video so far, I don't really know like how much depth to go into in this video. I just want to keep it super straightforward, super simple, being as general as I can, because every time the market moves, the recommendations are different. So I don't want to be like, Unchained is the best, this is the best, go for Necromancer, go for Von Leon. Those are not correct. In a gaming sense, where everything is just fictitious numbers and not real life money, yes, there are certain step-by-step procedures, but when real money is involved, you always need to consider the cost when you're determining the value of items. Because if this one here is 100 mil, but your Von Leon weapon is like 1 mil, then of course the Von Leon is better. But if vice versa, Von Leon is 100 mil, Unchained is like 1 mil, then this is a lot more value. And that is the additional thing that we do in the channel that a lot of other people don't consider, because they are not of a financial background as well. They don't consider markets. They don't have a finance channel as well, which is what we really provide on this channel. So the next thing, we talk about cheap stuff. We talk about efficient classes. Now, why do I spend money on good gear, or what good gear am I buying then? What am I spending on and investing is very clear. I am investing in long-term assets that don't depreciate as fast. One example, this was one of the first items I bought. You can see over there, obtain bonus potential legendary rank achieve, obtain bonus potential unique rank achieve, which means this emblem was something that I scrolled myself. I scrolled everything here on my own as well. The golden and maple emblem is one of the first things that I bought, because this is not only can it be used for a really long time, it's very important. It increases a lot of damage because of that magic attack that you get only from the weapon, secondary, and emblem. This can be used by any character. So if one day Bishops unfortunately gets nerfed, you can always shift it to another mage, like maybe Ice and Lightning, Fire and Poison, or whatever not. So very versatile. A lot of characters need it. It's best in slot. So very, very strong investment. In original MapleStory, it only is power creep by one item, which is like all the way at like level 260 plus. Bosses 270 plus will take a long time to get there, and even if we reach there, your mules, your sub accounts can always use this later on. So the charts have shown I bought this a long time ago, and right now the prices have more or less remained stable or even appreciated since I bought it as well. So I make money on the stuff that I'm spending money on already. So, and this isn't even counted in like the amount of money I generate. I will put towards the end of the video like how much money I'm generating and how the calculations work. But please bear with me. I want this to be a bit more of an in-depth video to give you guys as much information as I can to really tell you not only like how to think to make money. Don't think like a gamer if you want to make money. You have to think like an investor. And that's what I will share with you guys more on this channel as well. It's how we differentiate, because you can just go to like any gaming channel and like how to do boss fighting, how to do big PP numbers, very easy stuff. But we're not really focused on that. Now, next up, of course, the secondary is great, but I wouldn't call this a top tier investment because it's very class specific. Some of you are wondering, should you invest a lot in your book, your secondary? In my opinion, the gold maple leaf is like way more important. The book, slightly less important, because you are subjected to risk of getting class nerf or people rotating out of the class. Another new book comes out like the Princess No book or something like that is even better. You get power creep by a lot of stuff. In my opinion, you just need, if you are like a massive spender, legendary unique is fine. If you're a small spender, unique, epic, unique is like more or less good enough, so you don't have so much risk allocated to your class. Now that we talked about the stuff that are really high in investment, some of the other things that I think are also worth mentioning is one, the Neopight Rings. These rings are best in slot because they fill out an empty slot, they cost a lot of money, and since I bought them and since where they are now, they have appreciated a lot in value. So I'm making money in all of the stuff that I actually invested in. So you can see Neopight Rings, if you check the price history, you can also see on my page when I bought the rings as well, and then what price they are now. So I'm not like just talking. You can actually track whatever I'm saying based on like the marketplace if you are hardworking enough to go through everything. So made a lot of money from this because everyone is going to this. It's best in slot. It gives me a lot of intelligence, which helps me fight bosses as well, helps me do my dailies. It's just a very solid investment. Even if a new rings comes out, like maybe Golok's ring or maybe your Meister signets and stuff, you're still going to need one. So I can always move one of these rings over to my Ice and Lightning, over to another account to have another boss mule, and then have another income generation later on. So even though there are some risks of being power crap, it's currently best in slot. It's appreciating in value. I have 2 of these on one character and making me tons of money as well. So this is a very, very strong investment. It's like basically I invest in blue chip companies kind of thing that will generate you money, dividends, but at the same time appreciate in value. That's the same thought process that you want to have in MaplestoryN. But don't worry if all of these stuff like the financial terms sound too complicated. I simplify a lot of this for you through the actions that I do and also the videos that I put out. So other things, of course, is like the Dominator Pendant. I invested good amounts of money in this as well. Back when the Dominator Pendant was like first launching, one of the first items I bought also, I pushed it to 17 stars because this is a very long-term hold to give you the additional attack, magic attack. I scrolled it to like legendary bonus potential back then when it was still super cheap. Invested in the long run because it is best in slot and you'll probably be blessed in slot for a really, really long time until we have a pitch boss set and whatever not maybe. But this one is super solid. This one goes for, I spent like less than 70 mil on this. Right now it can go for, I got offers on this for like 100 mil and above and way more than that. And it adds damage to me. So I'm just holding it. It's just going to get better with time. So these are the stuff that I'm really investing a lot more money in. And the rest of my gear, if you realize, they're all really quite cheap in terms of like Neophyte stuff. They're not like, whoa, super like 150, 100 mil kind of expensive. You can probably get this for like 13 mil, 14 mil. Similarly, you can probably like get this for around there as well, like a couple of mil. So it's not like end game stuff. Really, really solid because there are much better ones like your Will-O-Wisp 17 stars. You can go for your like your Absolute Cape with 17 stars or something like that, which is like really expensive. They also cost like $2,000, $3,000, but this costs a fraction of the price. $100 you can get this. So I run with dollar cost efficiency and I clear a lot of bosses. That is pretty much the strategy I run on each individual character. So I reduce my risk. I spend very little money for characters already. My investment size is a lot smaller than other whales out there who do things irrationally and don't consider the finances as well. They don't watch this channel like you guys watching this video till this point as well. Huge shout out to you as well. And not only am I just doing this for one character, I'm replicating this model for multiple characters. I'm changing the model depending on the needs of that character, how strong the character is, and giving it the appropriate investment. So one character now comes into the money side of things, right? Per week, I can pretty much solo bosses very, very nicely right now. So we have the Chaos Vellum. I didn't get too good luck. This is, of course, done the party of 2. So dual Chaos Vellum at the investment I am at. It's like really, really small investment compared to the other whales who are like soloing. I think I'm like going for a third of their investment cost or something like that. So my profit margin is really very high and I don't get depreciated also. So everything I make is like net profit. Damien over here, you can see we did a party of 4, getting some cash, clearing endgame content. The only reason why I haven't done Lotus is because I can't find 5 hours to do the quest. I even tried to like ask some of the guys on Discord. I paid them money to like help me grind a character, but it turns out you need a level 190 character to actually get into the quest. So whatever it is, my time is quite expensive as well because I do work in investments and I don't have like 5 hours to do a quest line yet until I find some time. But Damien, hardest bosses, higher DPS in the game, 4-person check, normal sickness, solo. We have some solo here for Chaos Von. Whatever price, you might be watching this video in future, so I don't want to like tell you how much these prices are because the market always changes. But right now, as of time of recording, it's about $1 per 100k. So this one is like $50 here, I guess. If I get it, it's like 32% chance. If I get this, it's like $20. Is it $20? Yeah, $20. This is like $8. And thereafter, maybe this over here is like $30 or something like that. And each boss I clear gives me roughly around there. I don't only have one character because of my model is so cheap. I replicate this model. And let me just show you like last week, instead of just like showing you 1 week, right? So last week was the first week that I actually reached the threshold because I've only been playing for a month really doing this strategy. And it's just going to keep snowballing from here. So whatever I got here, didn't really get too lucky, lost a lot of my gold tokens. I was like super bad luck. But I got some gear here and there, some guaranteed returns. So I'll take those. This is like from just one character alone. On top of that, this is not my only character. Because my model is so cheap to run, this plan that I have, I replicate it for multiple characters as well. So that's one character. So another character that I have over here is, with Maple Warrior, I have like 11.3k stats. Haven't swapped my links out at all. So 11.3k on another character running a very, very different model as well. You can see here the things that I invest in similarly. As we mentioned, Gold Maple Leaf, Neopight Rings, the best in slot rings. And other than that, I go for long-term assets. If I'm holding stuff that is like 17 stars, something really good, I want it to go a long way. I want it to stay very long. Versatility, efficiency, these are all things that I'm considering as well. Different classes have different requirements, so I change up the gear here and there, match my items here and there just to make it work. And pretty much, I just replicate this model. I haven't done that much on this boss because today is like just the second day after the reset, barely like 30 hours after, and I also work a full-time job. So I've like just soloed so far Von, I solo Pink Bean, I solo like Chaos Akum, I solo Sickness and whatever not. So these are weekly bosses I've soloed so far. I'll probably play this character a bit more over the weekend since my bishop is like more or less done with like the weeklies other than like CRA, the Queen and the Clown, which are not too difficult. Last week similarly, I also have like done this much here. Didn't get too lucky with all the coins. I lost a lot of them with the failure rate and stuff. But I'm still getting quite a lot of these gold florins, a lot of these energies. And to me, honestly, if I win, if I lose, doesn't really matter because I'm still in the green. I'm massively profitable. Whatever I get is just additional income. And on a daily basis, I do boss carries for members of the channel as well. If you're interested in boss carrying, joining me on weekly parties, because I'm so green, I'm so profitable, it's very easy for me to do weekly carries without charging you excess money and stuff like that. As long as you are a supporter of the channel, I can easily do that. And you can see the reason why on a daily basis is so little is because we do boss carry, so I share the rewards with a lot of other people as well. But it doesn't really affect me because of the model that we have. And I just keep replicating this model. So this is my second character now that we have. And I already have a third one, which is a Night Lord coming up and giving me a lot more gains. And every time I make money, I'm not cashing out. It just keeps going back into the business. Now my Night Lord is somewhere around like 4,000, 5,000 stats, and we will just keep going and going and going. And this model will just keep repeating. So my dividend cash cows models just replicate, and I just keep earning more money. I'll eventually get more characters to like do that item swap, equipment swap thing and stuff like that. But I'm not too worried about it. I'm already very green. I'm making a lot of money from the strategies that we talked about. And if you want to make some money yourself too, do consider clicking the pinned comment to check out more information. Otherwise, just stay tuned to the channel. We provide a different view of a gaming world for you to make money, and see you guys in the next video.